What's going on, people? Welcome to 137 Works, and today we're having a look at this thing. And this is the first time since, if anybody remembers the old BFR Cayman mod video that I did, that I selected a car purely on the visuals and just how good it looks from the outside. Like, this thing looks absolutely bonkers to me. What is this thing? Well, it's the Mercedes AMG Black Series S specifically. It is a custom mod that is just, some of the numbers are insane. So it has 1,111 horsepower, brake horsepower technically. It has 1,219 newton meters of torque, and it weighs 1,540 kilos. So pretty sick numbers. Let's just say that much. Because I seen it and I was like, God, this thing looks like a pure, like, insane track beast for the road. And I didn't even know about the horsepower figures at the time. I just thought it looked visually amazing. So yeah, pretty much just, again, the SLS, the AMG, that kind of thing, they are some of my favorite cars. Like when the first SLS came out, and it was known to be like a drift kind of king for like a sports, like a kind of stock sports car. It was it just really caught my attention. And in the Forza, back when it came out, Forza, was it 3 or 4 that would have been out in the first time? Probably 3 maybe. I just remember it being an amazing drift car essentially when it came out. I think actually 4 possibly. But either way, yeah, it came out and it was an amazing drift car, like from scratch without even doing any mods and tunes to it. So I've always had a kind of soft spot in my heart for the SLS / the AMG kind of as it's known nowadays. But yeah, they're the essential statistics of the car anyway. Visually, as I said, absolutely gorgeous. Some mental statistics. If you don't know what we do here, after this now, brief little intro, we are going to go and have a look at it on the track after a brief little beauty montage. We get some nice angles and I edit a little kind of montage of some music. And yeah, bring it into VR, have a look around, see if it passes the VR test. I have to say, from the outside on the monitor, it's looking good. Like, I don't have any complaints immediately. But yeah, basically, have a quick look, see how it looks in VR, see if it passes the VR test, the quality and stuff like that. Then we do an audio test where we listen to it inside and outside the car and just basically see how the audio sounds. It doesn't seem to be using any copy to paste audio sounds according to Content Manager anyway. It doesn't have like one of the standard car sounds in there, so hopefully it's a good high quality mod kind of as far as the audio goes, created from scratch, fingers crossed. And then yeah, basically we take it for a lap of the Nürburgring, where we're not going for a time, it's just to see how it drives. A completely blind first lap. Well, it might crash, might spin out, might not, probably spin out. It's over 1,000 horsepower like in a street car, so we'll see how it goes. But that's about it. And just a quick heads up for anyone who might actually care about that kind of thing, I'm going to try without the webcam this time around, because I just basically, I need to try to do something about the Steam, and that involves needing the webcam to be turned off. I won't go into any more detail. But yeah, that's about it. So let's go to the kind of beauty montage next, and I will see you out on the track. Okay, first thoughts. It's good. I'm happy about this. The mirrors seem to be tucked in. I wonder if that's an animation that you can enable. Huh. Bit weird that they're tucked in by default, but sure, look, nevertheless. I'm very close to the steering wheel though, so let's start real quick. Yeah, so right away, the initial starting position isn't amazing, but otherwise, the color is kind of funky. It's like this leathery, suede-y brown kind of. It's not, it's not exactly gorgeous, let's be honest. But yeah, it looks good. And again, like the shade and the shadowing that I'm always constantly and forever giving out about looks really good. It's not the most level of like ambient occlusion or anything like that, but it looks pretty good. We have the live digital dash there, which is amazing. That should update in real time as we go out onto the track. We should see like a full real-time image of the track there, which is amazing. And yeah, basically the dashboard, I mean, the gauge looks a little bit flat. I'm not mind blown by the gauge a little bit, to be honest. It looks a little bit flat and like kind of like, you know, there's no depth to it or anything like that. It does, like, it's clearly just like flat image of everything kind of projected on there. Like, but otherwise, the carbon in the middle there, always amazing looking behind you in VR in a car. It's just, there's something so realistic about that and immersive. Like, yeah, all the details, the mirrors all work as well, despite them being kind of folded in for some reason. And yeah, let's go for the sound test. So it passes the VR test in my opinion. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's good enough. It's a nice place to be. It's immersive. With that said, let us try out the sound. Woohoo! Right, it has that kind of signature mark like AMG rumbly V8 and all the kind of poppy backfires and stuff like that, as you can probably hear. Hopefully hear. It's just the samples aren't amazing. Like it cuts off very immediately right at the very end. If you let's see if we can hear it again. Yeah, like there needs to be like a little release or tail off or something like that to the sample there. It just cuts off a bit abruptly every time. It just doesn't sound great. It doesn't sound amazing down low either, I have to say. Let's give it a test on the outside. It also seems to be missing the backfire pop from the outside, which is odd. Like you can see the flames coming out. Like it should be happening, but it's not. But it happens from the side view. That's very, very strange. All right, odd. Sound isn't the best in the world. A few little weird glitches and bugs, but in general, the car seems pretty solid. It's yeah, it passes the VR test. It could be better. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's solid enough to pass the VR test. So with that said, let us go and take her for a spin around the Nordschleife for a single lap and see how it drives. 1,111 horsepower. I don't imagine I'm going to be able to tame it very well, but there's only one way to find out. So let us go. That was interesting. There wasn't really a lot happening there. Like I tried to ease off the clutch and let out, but it didn't seem to really want to play ball. But let's see how we go. Interestingly, the sat nav doesn't actually seem to be updating. Alright, foot down. Oh my god. It puts the power down, though, I have to say. I'd imagine it's got big wide rear tires because it gripped up and went. Jesus, this is fast. Oh my god. Brakes are solid. Oh, seems to be quite a bit of turbo lag. I'm not sure what exactly the engine is. Obviously, I'm presuming it's a V8, but I'm not sure if it's like turboed or twin turboed. I would imagine twin turboed. There is quite a bit of turbo lag when you first put your foot down, and then it all kicks in. But as I said, interestingly enough, the back tires are able to manage it. Oh, this is pleasant. And the brakes are able for it as well. Again, I always, as ever, I drive kind of tentatively at first while I get my bearings and... oof. Sorry, Steam. The no camera trick I tried to not have any issues with Steam has not worked. But my god, this puts the power down incredibly. It goes. The big rear wing and all the downforce and all that doing their job well. Just easing off over float plats. Oh, it's on the edge. I love it. This is absolutely glorious. Right, I was trying to fix the steam in the headset there and caused a bit of an error, so we'll just ignore that. Put that down to a technical error. But yeah, I'm actually fascinated by how well this car drives. It's so fast. Oof. I was slowly but surely learning this section. Like, it's only been however many tens of hours I've driven on this track. A lot of steam. Oh. My god, this car it's weird. It's like clearly a handful and over the top. Oh, as we ripped off a little bit, but it's also completely manageable once you learn how it's driven, which I have not yet, obviously. Oh, there's a big slide. We approach, I think this is Miss Hit and Miss, if I'm not mistaken, or as I like to call it, Miss Miss Miss. Oh, big wobble. Oh, too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast. Not good enough. Well, goodness gracious, this is amazing. Highly recommended already, and I don't even think we're halfway through the lap yet. Just a bit of a pain in that I can't go more than a couple of corners without needing to take off the headset. Okay, alright. I thought the tires would save me there. They've been a bit more understanding than that previously, but maybe they're getting overworked, a bit overtemped, maybe. This is fantastic, though, I have to say. Whoa! Just every now and again, it does want to eat your face off, though. Which is, I don't think that's the phrase I was going for, but you know, bite your head off, maybe something like that. Similar enough. Probably could have been flat out there, but just an air's got the better of me. But as we come through a section that is typically flat out in these kinds of cars, we'll see how the AMG handles it. Oh, brakes and tires working together there to get as much grip as they could to get me around that corner, because that one is not flat out, absolutely. Oh. I'm calling that a drift. Like, that was totally intentional. Not. But as we come towards the usual place, I'm sure everyone knows it by now. Good old carousel. No real complaints coming into it. No real complaints through it. Little bit of squirreliness coming out of it just because I decided to completely put down the foot, so. I think that corner's flat. I always forget that, yeah. Every time. That corner's flat, this one isn't. Obviously, depending on the car, but in this car, I think I could have done it flat. It's just so calm and collected for the most part. Again, if you overstep the boundaries, it will absolutely snap out and try to, as I said, bite your face off, which is not the phrase, like. But otherwise, just in general, as long as you drive it how it needs to be driven, it's just so good. Like, I actually didn't make up a major mess up with the YouTube section, so that tells you something. If I don't, it's typically the car making up for my poor skills, basically. That's the kind of general rule that I live by. Oh. It's so fast. I mean, obviously, as you'd expect it. Oh, that corner's not. I don't know, I expected it to be sharper for some reason. I mean, I'm basically doing half of this lap blind. It's actually insane. With this fog in the headset. Oh man, it's such a pleasure to drive, though. I mean, if I could offer a pro tip, do not put the foot all the way down while still turning. Oh, maybe not. Even while you're straight. I was going to say, like, wait until you're, like, fully straightened up before you stick the foot all the way down, but even there, I was basically straight. The lap is over already. We are coming out onto the main street. Oh, man. What a blast to drive. Good lord. Oh. Again, I do apologize about constantly going on about the steam. It's just, it's so frustrating. I basically drove half that lap blind. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It's so frustrating, but yeah, no, enough of that. I did notice, as I said, the GPS didn't actually seem to work. Now, I don't know if this car is finished, if it's like 1.0 or fully released or whatever. So it could just be a case that like stuff like that, those little details that aren't crucial. And in fairness, stuff like the sound, it could be a case that they're just not finished yet. Yeah, like the GPS, I noticed that it wasn't keeping up with us. It's working. Like, you can see there, it has it like back in the pits and driving around the pits. It just didn't follow it around the actual track itself, which was a shame. But I also didn't have time nor the ability to notice, because you have to focus every fibre of your being on this car. Like, it was just like that was an experience. That was unbelievable. Again, so fast, so much grip up until a certain point, and then it's like, oh, just making sure that you're paying attention, like it just snaps out the rear end. And yeah, I'm definitely glad. Like as I said, I wasn't this hyped for a car since the Beto Fernandez BF4 Cayman, and I definitely think this lives up to it. Was it better or as good as the Cayman? I could go either way. Like great parking there, you see. Yeah, I don't know. The Cayman was a lot harder to drive. I feel like that one was just an absolute lunatic, whereas this one was a bit more kind of controlled. I would love to test them back to back and like have a race between the two of them and see how that went. But yeah, no, definitely, like I love this thing. I'll leave a link to the in the description as always. Definitely recommend trying it out. It's, again, as I kept on saying, it's an experience. But that's about it. Again, apologies for the complaint about the Steam throughout the whole thing, but I'm working on fixes. I tried this one with the no camera. Basically, without being too graphic, I tried to play it without a t-shirt. Like, I've noticed when I'm just playing by myself and it's a warm day or that, no Steam, not an issue, not a problem. But I'm after trying it here and it didn't work. It's just the intensity of doing the laps and also trying to talk. It's like the headset just goes crazy. I don't know what it is, and I just like, as I said, I quite literally drove about half that track blind in at least one eye, unfortunately. And it's killing me, because all I want to do is make these videos, but I get put off wanting to do them because I know that I'm gonna have to face this issue with the Steam, and then I end up moaning about it like I'm doing now, which nobody wants to watch, and it's a whole big frustration. But yeah, that's that. I will shut up now. And yeah, as I said, I'll leave a link in the description. Definitely recommend checking it out. If you enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.